Hello there, and welcome to an amazing episode of the Ugandan podcast hosted by Anne-Marie and courtesy of the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance. This episode is aptly named Vision Beyond Sight because remarkable individuals working with the Ministry of ICT and UICT, which is the Uganda Institute of ICT, are working to level the playing field for people living with disabilities, particularly the visually impaired people. And today I have someone who has flown in to tell us a bit more about the last 10 days that he's had in the country and how he can help us going forward when we're helping our brothers and sisters who do not have the gift of sight. Hello, Professor.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Fine, very well, thank you.
Now, before we even start the conversation, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself, what has brought you to our country, and what it is that you do.
Well, I introduce myself. I am Cristian. I'm from Italy. I am assistant professor in Italy in the University of Turin, and my background is in computer science. So I have studied computer science as a blind person, and then I had my PhD years ago, and then I started to take part into the field of research on assistive technology, human-computer interaction, and digital accessibility. So thanks to the cooperation between ITU and ST Foundation and UICT here in Uganda, I am here this week, and we have just designed this course for persons who are blind or have low vision, who want to become trainers of persons who are blind or have low vision in digital tools, just in mastering computers. And so the reason I'm here is just to train the trainers here at UICT.
Oh, that is so interesting. So the program, does it have a name?
Yes, it's called the ICBVI for VI, so it's Computer Basics for Visually Impaired Persons.
Also, it's sort of like an introduction to computer basics for visually impaired
Yes,
individuals.
not just for trainees, but for those who want to become trainers, first of all. So the aim is to train those who will go and train others. Of course, they need to know computer basics, not just using the sight, but supported by speech feedback.
And this course, it has to be quite innovative because you're working with visually impaired people and you're training people to train visually impaired people. What are some of these innovations that you're using to train the trainers and train the visually impaired people?
Well, all the course is based not on very special technologies, but it's based on mainstream computers enabled with speech software. That is a special one. It's a screen reader. It's an open source screen reader that persons who are blind can use to access computer application, the web, and the digital world overall.
Okay, now this training had to have a purpose in mind, and I'm guessing it's because of the challenges that the visually impaired people face. So do you have any specific challenges that maybe we may not be aware of when it comes to technology and the visually impaired people?
Yeah, so the goal, of course, is to enable persons to learn technology and to use technology to get a job and study in their lives. Actually, the challenge, there are different challenges, but the main challenge is not concerned in training persons who are blind or have low vision, but in enabling those who are sighted in an inclusive class to train those who are blind or have low vision, because all the course is based on an inclusive educational model, and actually it aims in this course not only blind or low vision people are included, but also sighted ones.
In your experience abroad, because I understand you also did a tour in Pakistan, how do you measure the success of digital literacy for the visually impaired?
Yeah, this is a kickstart course. So the first measurement is at the end of the course. We must be sure we just evaluate that all the our trainees have learned what we expect they have, and then we aim to scale up. So on the long run, the measurement is how many people have got advantage out of this course and how many have learned actually these topics.
Okay. So you've traveled the world and you've done this all over, and now you've been here for the past week, you said? And now you're partnering with the Uganda Institute of ICT, the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance. How do you feel like these collaborations are helping programs like the one that you're doing?
Yeah, I think this collaboration is essential, and I think that collaboration in these topics, especially in on the digital access, so digital accessibility, is essential not only for persons who are blind, but it's essential for all people who need to go through technology, because assistive technologies can be used only if the digital world is ready,
Yes.
is enabled for them.
Okay. Now let's get practical. In the program that you've done, whether in Uganda, whether in Pakistan, or everywhere that you've done it, do you have a success story that you can share with us where that one really changed everything for you and validated what you're doing?
That's a very nice success story that my colleague Sada, who is here, may report when we started this course in Senegal.
Do you have maybe another memorable moment? Maybe not necessarily a success story, but a moment that changed something for you?
For sure. Success story, for example, in Pakistan, was about the model. I was told by trainees, also by the staff, that it was the first time in that country to create an inclusive model, education model for learning assistive technologies. Usually, people were used to learn assistive technologies in different in special schools or in different environments. So the model, I was told by them that it was the first time for them to go through this kind of course, and they were really happy to share their abilities, not actually focusing on disability, but on their abilities with sighted ones.
So you were pioneers in the education of visually impaired individuals when it came to technology.
In the field of technology, yes, we have we have we've been designing these courses and delivering them through different countries. For some countries, we are pioneering. For others, we are just trying to just establish a good result, and so to be ready to have these results ready for the long run.
Okay, so let's talk about your experience in Uganda, where you talked about you pioneered the education in Pakistan and you had success stories in Senegal. How has your experience in Uganda been so far?
Yes, here in Uganda, my experience is excellent. I really met very great hospitality. People, very welcoming people. So actually, my experience is excellent, both with people and with the country overall. Even this nature around is wonderful. It's something
Yes.
that in Europe is hard to find.
It's not common.
No, that's not common at all, especially fruit, the source of Nile, something like this is not common at all in Europe.
It's been an all-around positive experience.
Yes, absolutely. An excellent experience.
Oh, well, we hope to have you back and even have you experience some more.
Oh, I really hope so to be back once more in the future.
So, with your time in Uganda, what are some areas that you believe we could develop more, or maybe we could need a helping hand more? And where do you think we're doing well already?
You see, well, I am very much focused on technology.
Okay.
So, in my opinion, the area of technology to go beyond the basics and extend also to those applications that are used in workplaces, in my opinion, it's very important to extend the training to all people, also to those who have disabilities.
Okay, and then for the people who might be watching this podcast and for the first time they're finding out about technology for the visually impaired and assisted technology, how can you advise them to be more sensitive to the needs of the visually impaired, or how can they positively contribute to people who are having a harder time accessing digital literacy?
Well, first of all, my advice is not to consider the world of people with visual impairment a separate one,
Okay.
because everyone in some situation in life can live as a person who has some kind of visual impairment. So when we are speaking about technology, when they design technology, please consider that they can be used not only through the screen, but also through many different kinds of devices.
Right.
And actually, different devices, access devices, are ubiquitous now all over the world. I mean, speech enabled, or through different through speech input, for example, and so on and so on. So just it's a matter of changing point of view.
Yes.
I'm not just imagine life and interaction with digital artifacts only based on sight, but on all different senses, and so that all different kinds of products can be really accessible for everyone. This is the first step to take. Then learning material for going better understanding and having a better knowledge on this on the internet. You can find really so many different learning courses to go to take a step forward on this. So, but the first step is to change your mind, just to say, okay,
Yes.
they are not the separate words, but actually we are just living in the same world with different senses, with different abilities.
Okay. Now you've spoken to the individual who's learning about this. What about the policymakers, the educators? What do you have to say to them when it comes to inclusive education?
Sure. To policymakers, my suggestion just is to try to support as far as possible, on one side, inclusive education, and on the other side, the policies on digital accessibility, which now are spreading all over the world. For example, in Europe this year, we have the application in many countries of the European Accessibility Act. It means that every digital product that is produced, is manufactured, has to be accessible also with different senses, not only through sight. So my suggestion is just to focus on this kind of policies and try to implement them as far as possible to the maximum extent in Uganda too.
So it's pretty much the impact that your program, ICBVI, which is Introduction to Computer Basics for the Visually Impaired, and the impact that it's making on society as a whole. So what would you like someone to take away from our conversation today?
I think overall that even with a disability, a visual impairment, you can achieve what you really wish. I mean, you have today the tools, the ways to turn your dreams into reality.
Thank you so much for that, Professor. And thank you so much for coming to Uganda. Thank you so much for being one of the pioneers in education for the visually impaired, for the differently abled people. And we really appreciate your efforts in this country and the countries all over the world.
Thanks to all of you.
And it would be, I mean, it's the Ugandan podcast. Have you learned any Ugandan words in any of our local languages?
No, actually not yet.
What would you like to learn, and I'll teach you?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. When it's plural, it's mwebale nnyo.
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
Mwebale.
Mwebale
Nnyo.
nnyo.
Which is thank you very much.
Mwebale nnyo.
Yes, you got it perfect.
Good.
Thank you so much, Professor. It's been such a pleasure having you on the podcast.
Thanks so much to everyone.
And please do support initiatives just like this, ICBVI, in partnership with the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance with the Uganda Institute of ICT. This has been the Ugandan podcast. So we heard from the professor himself, one of the pioneers in assistive education when it comes to the visually impaired with the ICBVI. And we have another remarkable individual who has said that he's going to level the playing field when it comes to people living with disabilities. So welcome to the Ugandan podcast.
Thank you.
Before we go anywhere, I like to get people's names right. So if you could introduce yourself, what you do, and what brings you to Uganda.
Thank you very much. My name is Sada Khan. I'm
Nice to meet you.
from Senegal.
Okay.
From the let's see educational got a degree in computer science,
Okay.
and before it I also studied sociology, accounting, let's see, mathematics, and economy, something else.
Okay.
But when I was doing my studying for the master, I see that many things around me, especially the visually impaired, is something that um, can see hurt me a little when I see them begging in the street. It's the first thing that motivates me to go in technology.
Okay.
And in Senegal, I am the focal point of ITU, International uh, Telecommunication Union, and also I work with ST Foundation
Okay.
because I'm there a technical manager in Senegal.
Okay, that's very interesting to go into technology for the visually impaired. Thank you for having an empathetic
Thank you
heart.
very much.
And what has it been like the past few days that you've been in Uganda?
So for Uganda, the first experience for me in Uganda is not in Uganda but in Senegal, because I have friends from Uganda
Okay.
in Senegal for 5 years, so very good friends. So when I meet them, really I want to discover the country, because from the point of view I see this woman from Uganda, it was a very, let's see, a model for me, for other people in Senegal. And also meet Francis and the last DTC in Bali. We were in Bali in Indonesia together. So we met there and we share many things, so we can other let's see, people around the world can work together to let's see unite the effort to make a difference. So after it, ITU and ST Foundation and Professor Bernareggi and me, and Francis and the team of UICT, we plan something to Uganda also to be able to conduct this kind of training. It was a very, for me, it was a very, the first image of Uganda is like Victoria. It was wonderful. And it was something I never get in any like airport.
It's
Because when you
unique.
get out, you can see it's wonderful. So also the culture is interesting, the language also.
Okay. So you've already worked with UICT, like you said, you've met Francis in Indonesia. Coming in this time and you're partnering with the Ministry of ICT through UICT, how do you feel like policymakers have really contributed to your cause when it goes to all over the world, and particularly in your visit in Uganda?
Okay, thank you. So we were talking together this very important subject, because before doing anything, the people who are in charge of like ICT or something else in the country should first put the policies. And this morning we have the closing ceremony, and the ministry give us many information. The Ministry of ICT, very good information, from the tax-free for the accessibility. Some, if you want to buy something from abroad, and it is for the visually impaired, you are not, you don't pay tax. And also many policies and also statistics, like how many people are visually impaired, and let's see, in Uganda, right around 2 millions, and like about 2 millions, and some people are visually impaired.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And now, earlier when I was talking to the professor, I had asked if he knew any success stories, and he said that you could speak on that with more authority. So I would love to hear some tangible success from this program that you've done.
okay, so the first time we do the training in Senegal, it was in 2022 with Professor of Senegal in one town near to the capital called Chess. So in this training, we have someone who was not born blind, but he became it because, and he lost all the things, he can't walk, something like this. And his name was Dam. And he came to the training without like knowing anything about the computer before this training. And 2 months after, he write me a mail.
Oh, wow.
He write me a mail to thank me, Cristian, and all the partners that now he is working in a hospital.
Oh, wow.
For the he's using Excel to like see the people who was in and out. So it was something that really, and also for this one, when we do a video to share this informations and this let's see, success story, it opened many doors for SD Foundation for us around the world.
Which actually speaks to my next question, because I was going to say already visually impaired people are members of society, and everyone who's in society positively contributes to it. But now skilling the visually impaired with digital literacy and giving them these tools, how much further can they go? If you had to conceptualize it, how much further do you think this can go?
Okay, so the first thing is the change of, let's say, the way people see the visually impaired.
Yes.
Because when you are using a computer, the eyes become an obstacle.
Really? An obstacle?
Yeah.
Okay, how so?
Because let's take an example. When you visually impaired learn internet, if you like give 2 tasks, like for sighted one and for visually impaired, the visually impaired will finish it very, very, very fast.
Wow.
Because the people who are sighted don't learn internet. For them, it is I enter and click.
Yes.
Yeah, and also we do something very special when we was in India, because when we was in India, professor go first, and after go to New Delhi. So we found there like little girl who was in secondary school, and we go very far because they were able to do coding. They do coding.
That's incredible.
And also they create an alarm. The alarm is when you are close, let's see, sometimes you see some sort of doors, when you are close, they open themselves. They can do it.
The sensors,
Yeah,
the
the
motion
sensors, yeah.
sensors.
We
Okay.
use the sensors and they create alarm. And they are all visually impaired. Girl around 14, 15. It was in December.
That is incredible.
So they can do. Professor here, Bernareggi, is a, let's see, an example, because he born visually impaired. He is a professor of university.
He's a
He have a
PhD holder.
PhD in he study mathematics
Oh, wow.
and computer science. So I think it's something very clear that they can go far more than the sighted, because visually impaired, because the 5 senses is limited to 4. The resource like available for every sense is different, because when a person is visually impaired, he hear more than a sighted person, because all the brain is divided in 4, and for us in 5.
We're underutilizing our senses because they are divided, basically.
Yeah, because the sighted person focus on the weakest sense, because the weakest sense is eyes, because the eyes need something external to work. It is light, and this is different for the other senses.
Now, if you could speak to a sighted individual who's interested in your program, I remember the professor was saying that it's a program for both the visually impaired and the sighted to train each other, to work with each other. If you could speak to someone who is out there, now they're getting curious about your program, and even before they come to your program, because I do want to speak to how they can get involved, what do you think, what are some of these mindset shifts that we need as sighted people when it comes to the visually impaired?
Yeah, for me, the first thing important, because we are also with Ruby, who is the wife of Professor, but who also is very good at communication. She works on communication and motivation. So she is partially sighted, so we have all the things. Professor is visually impaired. Ruby is partially sighted. I'm sighted. So the first thing to understand is, for the people, everyone. I used to tell something: if you live longer, you will be visually impaired. Absolutely. The visually impairment is different. If you live longer, you will be visually impaired.
Yeah.
Even me or you.
Yes.
It's something you can like
Avoid.
let's see,
Yeah.
if you live longer, you'll be visually impaired. Just another thing is scientifically, we don't know what is the process of someone who has the two parents who can see, who are sighted, and he like have a child who is visually impaired. How do you know you will not have a child who is not visually impaired?
You can't tell. Yeah.
So if you are not prepared, you will panic.
Yes.
So it's not something like, okay, I'm out of it. It does not exist. All the person are, let's see, concerned with this subject. If you are sighted, even all your children are not visually impaired, you will be visually impaired if you live longer. Something clear. If you are sighted, you don't know, you will be parents, you don't know if you will have, from the child you will have, some of them will be visually impaired. Because scientifically, we don't know why you are sighted, your wife are sighted, is let's see, you are sighted, your wife is sighted, and you have visually impaired children. So everybody
Basically can happen to
yeah,
anyone.
all right. Nevertheless, to be prepared. And also, if you learn, because Professor Bernareggi explained something interesting, because this kind of learning is not theoretical. Because if you know, it is clear. If you don't know, it is clear. It's like driving a car. It's not something you can fake. If you give you the car, if you can drive, it will be clear. If you cannot drive, it will be clear.
Right.
Yeah. So if you have the knowledge, because it is practical, let's see, around you, you can have someone from your neighborhood, someone you know, or your sister who have visually impaired children.
Yes.
So perhaps you will be someone who will be open to him or to her the world. Because if you do the training as a sighted, you can also teach it
to someone else.
to someone else practically. And also, if you see someone from your neighborhood who have visually impaired children, he will not panic, because you can share. Okay, it's not a problem, because I see a professor of university from Italy who come here. He is now fine. So we need this kind of things around us. That's why when we do the training, we have at least people who want to get inside to do. I tell them, okay, please enter, and we want this to go in the four directions.
Which is what I wanted to speak to next. Now
right.
we're ready, we want to be prepared, we want to be skilled to teach the visually impaired. Maybe we even want to design that technology like the young girl did with the motion sensors that when you come close, it will open. How can an individual who wants to get involved with this program sign up? Where can we find the information? How can we get in touch with the people concerned?
So now we have UICT. In the center, we have a very good lab, one of the best we have seen in the world.
In Uganda?
Yeah, right. Sincerely, it is very good. And you have Francis, and so you have UICT.
Yes.
And people can go there and be trained. And also the training, the concept of training is when we finish the training of the trainers, we pick them from different region of Uganda.
Right.
So when they finish, they will come back to the hometown, and we will do the training in every training of the citizen in every part of Uganda, to be like very sure that all the people of Uganda can do it or visually impaired.
So we just get in touch with the UICT, the Ugandan Institute of ICT, and we can access these trainings for us as well.
Yeah.
And then speak to your time in Uganda. What has your experience been like? Other than the Lake Victoria, have you enjoyed the food? Have you enjoyed the sounds, the sights, everything with the senses affordable to you?
Okay. Let's see. The first thing with Uganda, I think a prophet also see it, and Ruby, it is the quality of the air, the breathing.
It's clean.
Very clean.
Yeah.
You can't find a capital in the world like Kampala.
This is true.
Yeah.
Very true.
It's not because we moved around, he know it is different. And also the hills also, because Senegal is flat. We don't have any hills in Senegal. No hills. So it is something that you see this point are there in the night, it's like stars. Something like this is something also very
it's new to you.
New to me. And also something the food is very good. The food is very good. Yeah, we appreciate. It is good and healthy for me of food, because if we are talking about the taste, Senegalese
Yes.
people can make it, but it's not healthy. I'm not going to eat this
Yeah.
kind of things. So, but in Uganda, it is
Mm.
good and healthy.
And organic.
Organic, yeah.
Yeah, it's all
And
grown
complete, you have
here.
all the kind of foods, and very good. And also from the perspective of culture, because the professor and his wife, absolutely, we are like, we love cultures, differences. That's why we found many languages, many cultures, many, and we go also the last weekend at Jinja, and we also get fresh air from the villages. Is like paradise. Very, very, very nice. It is unique country from point of view of
So
nature.
you'll
Yeah, for
definitely
me,
be
yeah,
back.
definitely.
We expect you back soon. You're going to be here
Yeah,
again.
for sure.
Ah, wonderful. That's
All
what we
right.
love.
All right.
And then if you could have one takeaway for someone who's watching this podcast and now they've realized that this is visually impaired people, don't just take pity on them, skill them, help them, skill yourself so you can skill them as well. Is there any other takeaway that you'd have for someone who's watching the Ugandan podcast, a Ugandan and even in the international community?
Okay, for me is to realize that we are in a world where technology can make all the people independent,
Yes.
and also to be able to contribute in the society. I think for human being, it is very important to be useful.
Yes.
So instead of begging on the street, so it is waste of talent and something else. So let's help each other. So the visually impairment, partially sighted, can go to the independence and financially independent and be able to contribute to the society.
And now that you have the ear of the policymakers, because I know that they'll be listening, what do you have to say to them as well?
So for the policymakers, I think the thing are already written. So we need to, let's see, come together and different stakeholders to try to start now to work on it. It is possible. It can take time, but when we start, it will end, because everything in world have its own time period to be able to work.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your
Thank you
time.
very much.
And thank you for giving me statistics that I didn't even know about my own
Yeah, all
country, that we
right.
had the best lab
Yeah.
in Africa. Well done,
Yeah,
Uganda.
all right.
And thank you so much for making your trip. Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you
effort
very
for the
much for
visually
the invitation
impaired.
also.
And we will invite you again so that you can enjoy all
So
of
you
this.
are very skilled. Yeah,
I thank you, please.
you are very skilled. Yeah, definitely. Understand now. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank
You
you.
very much.
This has been the Ugandan podcast, and this has been ICBVI in partnership with the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance and the Uganda Institute for ICT. Until next time, blessings.